The first exercise we're going to look at is the barbell bench press. The muscles being trained in this exercise are the pectoral muscles, triceps, and the anterior shoulder. This is a shoulder horizontal adduction with an elbow extension. This is performed by lying supine or face up on a flat bench with feet flat on the floor, grasping the bar with a pronated overhand grip with hands slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Take the weight off the rack and keep arms extended or straight with the weight at chest level. To begin the movement, lower the weight in a controlled fashion towards the chest by flexing or bending the elbows. Inhale throughout the downward movement phase. Continue the movement until the bar lightly touches the chest. Push the weight upward toward the ceiling by extending or straightening the elbows. Exhale throughout the upward movement phase. Common errors with this movement and exercise are arching the lower back. This can be fixed through flexing the abdominal muscles 20% and having a neutral and secure spine. Another common error is having the feet not planted on the ground. This can be corrected by a 90-degree angle of the knee and force generated from heels pressed to ground. The second exercise we're going to look at is the back barbell squat. The muscles being used in this exercise are the back, glutes, hamstrings, and quadriceps. This exercise is performed through hip, knee, and ankle extension and flexion. Begin with your feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart with a slight bend in the knees. Rest the bar across the trapezius or upper back with palms wider than shoulder width apart. Take a pronated or overhand grip. Focus eyes straight ahead. To begin the movement, squat down as far as possible while keeping the back straight and heels on the ground. Inhale throughout the downward movement phase. Raise the body by extending or straightening the hips and knees. Exhale through the upward movement phase. Common errors with the back squat is having your knees go over your toes. This can be fixed or corrected with bending at the hips before the knees. Another error is bending too far at the hips, causing an unstable movement. This can be fixed by ensuring the tibia and spine are parallel. Heels should always stay on the ground. If the ankles don't allow for this range of motion, a weight plate can be placed under the heels to accommodate for stiffness. The next exercise we're going to look at is the walking lunge. The muscles being activated in this exercise are the quadriceps, glutes, and hamstrings. This action is performed through hip and knee extension. To begin the movement, step forward with one leg and flex or bend the knee while lowering the body towards the floor. Step far enough in order to keep the lead knee behind the lead foot. Keep the opposite foot on the ground, allowing the back leg to flex or bend until it reaches 1 to 2 inches above the ground. Inhale throughout the downward movement. Raise the body by extending or straightening the hips and the knees. Return to starting position. Exhale throughout the upward movement phase. Some common errors with the walking lunge is having the lead knee go over the lead foot. This can be avoided by taking a longer step. Flexing or bending the torso during the movement instead of keeping the back straight the entire time can be another common error. This is corrected with activation of the abdominal muscles to keep the core tight and the back in line with the leg. Allowing the back knee to internally rotate is another common error. This is corrected by making sure the knee stays in line with the back hip and ankle. The next exercise we're going to look at is the barbell bent row. The muscles being activated are the shoulder, back, and biceps. The action is performed through shoulder horizontal abduction and elbow flexion. Stand in a shoulder width stance with knees slightly flexed or bent. Bend forward at the hips until the back is parallel with the floor, keeping the back straight. Grasp the bar with pronated overhand grip. With the hands placed wider than shoulder width apart, keep your eyes straight ahead and let your arms hang down to the ground with your elbows fully extended. To begin the movement, pull the bar off the ground towards your abdominal region while flexing or bending the elbows. Exhale during the upward movement phase. Pull the bar upward until it reaches the abdominals while squeezing the scapulas or the shoulder blades together. Lower the bar slowly by extending or straightening the elbows and return to starting position. Inhale through the downward movement phase. Some common errors that can occur with this exercise are overextension of the back when lifting the weight up This can be avoided by flexing the abdominal muscles slightly to pull the core tight and not allow for the back to arch. Another common error would be to lock the knees, putting the back in a different position than it needs to be for the exercise. The last exercise we're going to look at is the dumbbell shoulder press. The muscles being trained in this exercise are the shoulder, upper back, and bicep. This action is performed through shoulder abduction and elbow extension. Begin the exercise standing a shoulder width stance with knees slightly flexed or bent to take pressure off the lower back. Grasp the dumbbells with a pronated overhand grip. Rest dumbbells in a neutral position, palms facing forward at shoulder level. To begin the movement, press the dumbbells simultaneously, straight, upward, and slightly toward each other. Exhale throughout the upward movement phase. Continue the movement until elbows are fully extended overhead. Lower the dumbbells under control until the dumbbells are at shoulder level. Inhale throughout the downward movement phase. Some common errors while performing this exercise are allowing the back to hyperextend or arch during the upward movement phase. This is corrected by keeping the core activated at 20% and the spine stable. Another error is not having the forearm parallel with the torso, causing weights to be lowered too far behind or in front of the shoulders. Correcting this form, as well as adjusting weight so it can be performed correctly, will fix this error.